Hey guys, memes here. So, we gotta talk about the coronavirus again, because things are, well, it seems to be escalating slash we're getting more information here. So we all remember that Chinese bio lab that was probably about 8 miles or so away that happened to have a very similar actual symbol to Umbrella Corporation, yada yada yada. Here's the thing. A lot of times we're assuming the worst. Universal truth number 6. Our minds tend towards the worst place. Here's the thing. With this new article here and some other sources as well, it's starting to link that it may have actually emerged from a laboratory, but as far as actually attempting to fully create it, it just could have been just literally a series of extremely unfortunate events. So as we can see here, this is brought to us today from the Daily Mail. Did the coronavirus originate in Chinese government laboratory? Scientists believe killer disease may have begun in research facility 300 yards from the Wuhan wet fish market. That was the location where people believe that it originally emerged. This would kind of make sense if this was the center within Hubei province there. Here's the thing. Basically, you go through this article, apparently one of the researchers basically kind of ended up having bat blood on him because basically he had either been bitten, he had gotten some bat blood on him, and at one point he had even had, I believe, some bat urine as well on him. He had potentially quarantined himself for 14 days because most of these times if something's going to emerge, it's usually about standard 2-week process. As we've seen from research, if this virus has up to a 24-day, basically an additional 10 days, almost a week and a half longer than the quarantine, and this individual is moving throughout there, that literally would explain a lot of this. Rather than it simply just being malice that just got out of hand, it's just this is something novel, something that precautions were taken. Apparently they weren't enough here. So here's what we got. Chinese scientists believe the deadly coronavirus may have started life in a research facility just 300 yards from the Wuhan fish market. A new bombshell paper from Beijing-sponsored South China University of Technology says the Wuhan Center for Disease Control, WHCDC, could have spawned the contagion in Hubei province. So essentially, they're saying that the possible origins of the 2019 nCoV coronavirus, penned by scholars Botao Ziao and Lei Ziao, claim that WHCDC kept disease-ridden animals in laboratories, including 605 bats. It also mentions that bats which are linked to coronavirus once attacked a research and blood of the bat was on his skin. So here's the thing. If this is true, this would explain a lot. It would explain a lot of the goings on here, why we basically were linking it to bats. People were assuming that maybe it was bat soup or something like that as well. We've also heard alluding to that pangolins, and actually armadillo-like little mammal there, which seems to be kind of adorable in my opinion, may have been actually one of the perpetrators as well. Both these individuals, they also happen to be mammals as well. So if you're sequencing the DNA and you get it up at around 90 or so percent, 96, 99, depending on which one you're saying there, I mean, it really would explain a lot. And if this transmission is true, it really does make a lot of sense. And the novel part about it is just the extremely long incubation period where it appears that people are actually contagious before they actually show symptoms, would explain why some experts are saying up to 60% of the entire world may end up being exposed to this as well. As we can see, one of the researchers at the WHCDC described quarantining himself for 2 weeks after that bat blood got on his skin. According to the report, the same man also quarantined himself after a bat urinated on him. So as you can see, the Hunan Seafood Market right there, and Wuhan Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So excuse me, pardon me, it's about 300 meters away, so a little over 900 or so feet there. This really explains a lot. Just kind of delving in, this is going to be real quick. This is from thestreet.com as well. Was the coronavirus brought to us by a lab accident? So here's the thing. They're kind of going over a lot of the same things. They're saying based on the genome sequence and properties of the virus, there's no basis to suspect the virus was engineered, said Professor Richard H. Ebright, the laboratory director at the Watkins Institute of Microbiology and a professor of chemistry at the Chemical Biology at Rutgers, chemistry and chemical biology at Rutgers University. Here's the thing. If this was created as a potential bioweapon, okay, I've heard some folks say that, oh, we'll see a vaccine within a couple of months. I see reports, as we covered yesterday, that there was a lab in San Diego that basically, once they got a hold of the genetic code of the virus, they allegedly had created a vaccine within approximately 3 hours because they had an algorithm that could genetically sequence it. Here's the thing. If we can do that and that's modern medicine, that's great. If this actually was a tragic accident, protocols were in place that obviously weren't stringent enough. Here's the thing. The virus is out of Wuhan. It's traveled across the world. It seems to now be on all continents. We're going to have to deal with this. So, as I said before, Wuhan Jiju. And we just need to cover this from the New York Times as well. To tame the coronavirus, Mao-style social controls blanket China. We've seen people that allegedly have been getting boarded up into buildings. I spoke with an individual on the ground in Hong Kong there that, according to her, that if one person in her building happens to get sick, they're literally quarantining. Like, nobody can leave for 2 weeks. So a lot of folks just aren't leaving. This is the thing. You can say this is very authoritarian, but if you're dealing where certain individuals, especially it appears to be Asian males, have the highest reaction to it as far as mortality rate goes, somewhere between like 2 to 3 to 5%, you're talking about potential of millions and millions of people dying. What is the right balance? I don't know. Here's the thing. This is novel. We've never really dealt with this before. We just got to do the best we can. And a lot of folks are just screaming at China, this and that. Yeah, you can say that they weren't fully honest, but at the same time, there's the counter argument. If you said that there's a good chance that you may die, if you just have a breakdown of law and order, people literally fleeing in the streets, does that make things better or worse? It kind of sounds like it makes them worse. We can Monday morning quarterback all day and night. Here's the thing. COVID-19 is here. We got to deal with this. So, power to the people. Wuhan Jiju. Thanks for watching. Peace out, everybody.